The grand meeting hall of the Confederation War Council was filled with angry voices. Representatives from 12 different alien species argued loudly. The capture of Admiral Wook's flagship had sent shockwaves through the Confederation. "This war is becoming too costly," said the representative from the Kell system. "We have lost 30 bases and 7 capital ships to these humans." "They were supposed to be a primitive species," shouted another. "How have they advanced so quickly?" Admiral Bach tried to calm the council. "We still have superior numbers and technology. The humans have just been creative." Intelligence analyst Su Jin stepped forward. Her job was to study human progress and predict their next moves. "The humans are advancing at an unprecedented rate," Su Jin explained, showing charts on the main screen. "They have taken our technology and improved it. If this trend continues, they will match our technology within 5 years. The council members fell silent at this news. It was unheard of for any species to develop so rapidly. "That's not all," Su Jin continued. "Human Wraith teams are now operating deep in Confederation space. They target our supply lines and communication hubs. Many of our ships refuse to travel without heavy escorts now. We cannot win this war quickly, and we cannot afford a long war," Admiral Bach admitted. "The humans fight too well, adapt too fast." Meanwhile, deep in Confederation space, Commander Min Lee led her Wraith team on their latest mission. Once Lieutenant Min on Jun's team, she now commanded her own unit. After the Europa incident, Earth had created many more Wraith teams. "Target in sight," said her second-in-command, pointing to a large building ahead. The building was the Confederation Central Military Academy, where young aliens trained to become officers. Thousands of future commanders were inside, attending graduation ceremonies. "Remember the plan," Min told her team of 8. "We go in silently. No casualties unless absolutely necessary." Using stealth suits based on captured Confederation technology, Min's team slipped past the outer guards. The Academy's security was good, but they had never faced human special forces before. Inside, the graduation ceremony was in full swing. High-ranking Confederation officials gave speeches about duty and honor. None noticed the shadows moving along the high ceiling of the hall. Min's team split up, each member heading to different parts of the Academy. They moved through air ducts, climbed along support beams, and used small devices to disable security systems. In his office, Academy Commander Pell felt proud of his graduating class. They would serve the Confederation well in the war against humans. He opened his desk drawer to get his speech notes. Instead, he found an Earth flag and a note written in perfect Confederation script. "We could have killed everyone. Remember that." Across the Academy, similar flags and messages appeared in secure rooms, commanders' quarters, and weapons lockers. Panic spread as security teams found evidence that humans had been everywhere in the building. When Min's team regrouped outside the Academy, all 8 members were present and unharmed. Not a single shot had been fired. "Mission complete," Min reported over the secure communication link to Earth. "Message delivered." The next day, news of the Academy incident spread throughout the Confederation. If humans could reach their most secure military academy, nowhere was safe. If humans could have killed the next generation of officers but chose not to, what did that mean? In the War Council, Admiral Bach received the reports with a heavy heart. More ships were refusing missions. More soldiers were requesting transfers away from human space. "We have reached the breaking point," he told the Council. "The humans have not just defeated our forces, they have defeated our will to fight." The Council voted that day. After hours of debate, they made their decision. The war with humans could not be won at an acceptable cost. It was time to talk peace. Phobos, the small moon of Mars, was chosen as the meeting place. Human ships hovered on one side. Confederation ships waited on the other. After 3 years of war, peace talks were finally beginning. Colonel Jum Kim stood with General Tai and other Earth leaders as they waited for the Confederation delegates to arrive. A large dome had been built on Phobos for the meeting. "Do you think they're serious about peace?" Joan asked. General Ta nodded. "Their economy is suffering. Their soldiers fear fighting us. They need this peace as much as we do." The Confederation delegation arrived, led by Admiral Bach himself. With him was Commander Daesung, who had led the second attack on Earth years ago. Now he walked carefully, eyeing the human soldiers with obvious caution. "Welcome to Phobos," said General Tai, stepping forward. "We hope this meeting leads to lasting peace." Admiral Bach bowed slightly. "That is our wish as well." The talks began inside the dome. Both sides presented their terms. Earth wanted recognition as a sovereign power with rights to its solar system and several nearby unclaimed star systems. The Confederation wanted assurances that humans would not attack their worlds. "We have learned much about each other through conflict," Admiral Bach said. "Perhaps now we can learn through cooperation instead." Outside the dome, Colonel Jun and Commander Daesung found themselves standing together, watching the stars. "Your special forces," Daesung said after a long silence. "They fight like nothing we've ever seen. How is this possible?" Jun considered the question. "Humans have been fighting each other for thousands of years. We learned from each failure, each success. When we met your people, we just adapted those lessons." Daesung nodded slowly. "My soldiers talk about your Wraith teams like they're not real people, like they're spirits." "They're just men and women," Jun replied, "trained to use fear as a weapon." As they talked, alarms suddenly blared. A ship had appeared near Phobos, firing at the dome. "It's a Confederation attack ship," shouted a human officer. "Not under my command," Admiral Bach said, his face showing shock. "It must be the Separatist faction. They oppose any peace with humans." The dome's shields activated, but they were not designed for heavy attack. They would fail soon. "We need to get everyone to safety," General Tai ordered. Colonel Jun quickly gathered his Wraith team, who were serving as security. At the same time, the personal guards of Admiral Bach moved to protect their leader. "We need to work together," Jun told the Confederation guards, "or we all die here." Commander Daesung made a quick decision. "My soldiers will follow your lead, Colonel." For the first time, human Wraiths and Confederation elite guards fought side by side. They moved the diplomats to a secure bunker as the attack continued. "We need to stop that ship," Jun said. "It will destroy this moon if we don't." Using a small transport, Jun and a mixed team of humans and aliens launched toward the attacking vessel. The humans shared their tactics while the aliens provided knowledge of the ship's weak points. "Aim for the engine cooling vents," said a Confederation guard. "They're not well protected." The combined team boarded the Separatist ship and fought their way to the bridge. Working together, they overcame resistance and captured the Separatist leader. When they returned to Phobos, both delegations were watching in amazement. "If our soldiers can fight together so effectively after years of war," said General Tai, "imagine what we can accomplish in peace." The peace treaty was signed the next day. Earth was recognized as a sovereign power with all the rights they had requested. But the most interesting part of the treaty was a provision for human special forces instructors to train elite Confederation units. Years later, retired Colonel Jum Kim worked as a military attaché to the Galactic Confederation. Walking through the halls of the Confederation Military Academy, he overheard a young alien cadet ask an instructor, "Why are galactic soldiers afraid of human special forces?" The instructor, a veteran of the war, thought for a moment before answering. "Because they taught us that determination matters more than technology, adaptation more than tradition, and courage more than numbers. And those are lessons worth remembering." Jun smiled as he walked past. The war was long over, but its lessons would never be forgotten. Jun Kim watched his team run the training course for the 5th time that day. 3 months had passed since Colonel Hyun had chosen him to lead Wraith 1. Now, they were almost ready. Again, Jun ordered as they finished. 10 seconds faster this time. The team didn't complain. They knew what was at stake. Each member had been picked from the best special forces around the world. There was Lieutenant Min Lee, an expert in alien languages and technology. Sergeant Bo was the best sniper on Earth. The others were just as skilled. "They're ready," said Major Sun Hee, who helped train the team. After the Lima incident, she had become a legend. June nodded. "I hope so. Tomorrow, we leave for Titan." Their training base was hidden deep underground. Here, they learned to use alien weapons, speak basic alien languages, and fight in different gravities. They studied alien behavior and practiced moving silently in alien environments. Most importantly, they learned to become ghosts, to strike fast and disappear before the enemy could respond. "The Confederation thinks they know humans," Colonel Hyun told them at their final briefing. "They think we are primitive but dangerous. They fear our violence, but not our intelligence. You will change that." The team's ship was a captured Confederation scout vessel, modified with human improvements. It was faster and stealthier than the original. "Remember the plan," Joan told his team as they prepared to board. "We pose as maintenance workers. We get inside, gather the information, and sabotage their defense grid. Then we leave. No unnecessary risks." Lieutenant Min Lee checked her equipment one last time. As their language expert, she would do the talking if anyone questioned them. "What if someone recognizes we're human?" asked Sergeant Bo. "Then we move to Plan B," Jun replied. "We fight our way out." The journey to Titan took less than a day with the new FTL drive. They approached the moon from behind Saturn, using the planet's rings to hide their approach. "Their security is tight," said Min as she scanned the base. "But their systems have a weak spot. They use the same codes across all bases." The team put on captured alien work suits. With their helmets on, they looked like Confederation maintenance workers. "Stay calm," Jun reminded them as they docked at the base. "Slow movements. Don't make eye contact." A board security officer waved them through after a quick check of their fake IDs. Min had created perfect copies based on stolen data. Inside the base, the team split into 3 groups. June and Min headed for the command center. Bo's group went to the defense grid control room. The third group moved toward the communication array. "We have 20 minutes before the shift change," Jun said softly into his comm. "Make them count." In the command center, Min plugged a small device into a computer terminal while June kept watch. "Downloading their fleet movements now," she whispered. "This is big, Captain. They're planning a major attack on 3 human colonies." In the defense grid room, Bo's team worked quickly to plant small devices on key systems. "Charges set," Bo reported. "They'll shut down their defense grid for exactly 10 minutes when activated." Everything was going according to plan until an alarm sounded. "We've been detected," called the third team leader. They found our device on the communication array. "Plan B," Jun ordered. "Meet at extraction point in 15 minutes." What followed became known in Confederation records as the Ghost Hour. Jun's team moved through the base like shadows. They disabled lights, used smoke grenades, and created confusion. Alien soldiers fired at moving shapes only to hit their own people. The humans used the alien weapons they had trained with, striking from unexpected angles. "They're everywhere," cried one alien commander as his squad was taken down by silent attackers. Bo set up on a high walkway, his sniper rifle picking off aliens who tried to block the exit route. 90 minutes after the alarm sounded, Wraith 1 reached their ship. All 12 members were alive, though 3 had minor injuries. As they flew away from Titan, June looked at the data Min had stolen. "This will save millions of lives," he said. Behind them, the Titan base was in chaos. The aliens had never seen humans fight like this before. They had faced soldiers before, but never ghosts. The legend of the Wraiths had begun. Major Sun Hee looked at the small screen in her hand. The tiny dot moved slowly across a map of Jupiter and its moons. "The tracking device is working," she told her team. "The aliens have set up a base on Europa. 2 weeks had passed since Earth had fought off the alien attack. The tracking device placed on the enemy ship had led them to Jupiter's icy moon. Now, Sun He and her team of 12 Special Forces soldiers prepared for humanity's first mission beyond Earth's orbit. "This is just a scouting mission," General Ta reminded them over the video link. "Get in, gather information, and get out. Do not engage the enemy unless necessary." Sun He nodded, but she knew things rarely went as planned. Her team boarded Earth's first spaceship built with reverse-engineered alien technology. The ship was small and fast. Most importantly, it had stealth systems copied from the aliens. "Ready for launch," said the pilot, Lieutenant June. The journey to Europa took only hours thanks to the new engines. As they approached the moon, they saw the alien base, a large structure built into the ice. "I count at least 200 aliens," said Surgeon Du, looking at the scanner. "That's more than we expected." "We stick to the plan," Sun He replied. "We land away from the base and approach on foot. We'll use the low gravity to our advantage." They landed 3 kilometers from the base. In their new spacesuits, the team moved quickly across Europa's icy surface. The low gravity made them feel light as they jumped over cracks in the ice. "Their sensors haven't spotted us," whispered Corporal Yang. "The stealth tech is working." The team reached the base perimeter. Sun He divided them into 3 groups. One would watch the main entrance. Another would circle to the far side. Her group would find a way inside. "Remember," she said, "we're here to gather information. Plant the bugs, take pictures, and leave." But as Sun He's group neared an airlock, they saw something that changed everything. Alien soldiers were loading large weapons onto ships. "Those are planet-killer bombs," said tech specialist Quan, scanning the weapons. "Each one could destroy a major city on Earth." Sun He knew they couldn't just watch and report back. These weapons could not reach Earth. "Change of plans," she told her team. "We need to disable those weapons and destroy their communications." "But there are 200 of them and 12 of us," said Corporal Yang. Sun He smiled behind her helmet. "Then it's almost a fair fight." The Lima incident, as it came to be known, began with a small explosion at the base's power station. As alien soldiers rushed to check the damage, Sun He's team slipped inside. Using the low gravity, they moved along the ceilings where the aliens didn't look. They planted bombs on the communication array and the weapons depot. 15 minutes until detonation, Sun He said as they regrouped. "Time to leave." But an alarm sounded. They had been spotted. "To the secondary exit," Sun He ordered. Alien soldiers blocked their path. For the first time, humans and aliens fought face to face. The aliens had better weapons, but the humans moved faster in the low gravity. They bounced off walls, fired from impossible angles, and used the base's narrow corridors to their advantage. They moved like demons. One alien soldier cried before a shot silenced him. Sun He's team fought their way out, but not without cost. 2 of her soldiers were wounded. As they ran for their ship, the bombs they had planted exploded. The alien base's lights went dark. "What about their ships?" asked Surgeon Du as they reached their own vessel. "Won't fly without their launch systems," Sun He replied. "And we took their data cores. Everything they know, we'll know soon." As they lifted off from Europa, Sun He looked back at the damaged alien base. 87 alien soldiers had died. The rest would tell stories about the humans who had attacked with impossible speed and vanished like ghosts. The Lima incident had begun a new phase of the war. Humans were no longer just defending. They were taking the fight to the enemy. And the Galactic Confederation was starting to feel afraid. 2 years had passed since the first alien attack on Mars. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. Cities now had shield domes. Ships with faster-than-light drives carried human soldiers to distant moons and planets. Admiral Wook of the Galactic Confederation stood on the bridge of his flagship. The massive ship orbited Europa, where humans had built their first off-world colony. "We will end this today," Admiral Wook told his officers. No more playing games with these humans. The Confederation had grown tired of losing small battles. They had lost too many bases, too many ships. The humans, especially their special forces, had proven too dangerous to fight directly. Our new strategy is simple, Admiral Wook explained, pointing to a map of Europa colony. We stay in orbit, out of reach of their ground forces. We use our big guns to destroy them from above. His officers nodded in agreement. None wanted to face human soldiers up close. Begin the bombardment, ordered Admiral Wook. On Europa, alarms sounded as Confederation ships appeared in orbit. Colonel Hyun, who was visiting the colony, rushed to the command center. Activate the shields, he ordered. The stolen shield technology, improved by Earth scientists, now protected the colony. As the first Confederation shots hit the shields, Colonel Hyun called Earth. The Confederation has changed tactics, he reported. They're staying in orbit, beyond our reach. General Tae's face looked grim on the screen. Can your shields hold? For a while, Colonel Hyun replied. But we need to hit back. On Earth, now Colonel Jung Kim received urgent orders. His Wraith team, expanded to 17 members, was to board a stealth transport immediately. What's the mission? Asked Lieutenant Min as they prepared to leave. The Confederation is bombarding Europa from orbit, Jun explained. Our job is to stop them. How do we reach ships in orbit? Asked Sergeant Bo. Jun smiled. We'll catch a ride. Near Europa, small Confederation transport ships moved between the big warships, carrying supplies and crew. Jun's team, using their captured scout ship, approached one such transport. Sending the fake emergency signal now, said Min. The transport ship slowed, responding to what it thought was a distress call from another Confederation vessel. Boarding team ready, Jun said as their ship pulled alongside the transport. The human team cut through the transport's hull and stormed inside. The Confederation crew, surprised and outnumbered, surrendered quickly. Take their uniforms, Jun ordered, and set course for the flagship. Admiral Wook watched with satisfaction as his ships pounded the human colony shields. Soon those shields would fail and the colony would be destroyed. Admiral called an officer. Transport ship requesting permission to dock. They report engine trouble. Let them dock in the secondary bay. Admiral Wook replied without much interest. The transport ship, now piloted by humans, landed in the flagship's docking bay. Confederation crew members approached to help with repairs. They never saw the attack coming. Jun's team moved with lightning speed, securing the docking bay before alarms could sound. Move to the engine room, Jun ordered half his team. The rest with me to the bridge. The humans moved through the massive ship like ghosts. When they met resistance, they used stun weapons developed from Confederation technology. They wanted to capture the ship, not destroy it. On the bridge, Admiral Wook received disturbing reports. Communications with several decks had been lost. Security teams sent to investigate didn't report back. What is happening? He demanded. His answer came when the bridge doors opened, and Colonel Jung Kim walked in with 5 human soldiers. Their weapons pointed at the bridge crew. Admiral Wook, Jung said calmly, your ship is now under human control. Order your fleet to stand down. The Admiral stared in disbelief. How did you get aboard? You should have kept fighting us on the ground, Jun replied. At least there, you could see us coming. The Europa incident, as it came to be known, changed the war forever. For the first time, a Confederation capital ship had fallen to humans. The psychological impact was devastating. As news spread through the Confederation fleet, many captains chose to retreat rather than risk the same fate. No ship was safe from the human special forces now. The tide of war had finally turned. The Great Hall of the Galactic Confederation War Council fell silent as the recording ended. It showed human soldiers moving with incredible speed through the Europa base. The aliens in the room had watched in shock as just 12 humans defeated many times their number. Admiral Bach, The head of the War Council turned to the others. This cannot continue. These humans are becoming a serious problem. Dr. Jin, the Confederation's top xenopsychologist, stood up. His job was to study alien minds. Now he studied humans. The Lima incident was not just a military defeat, Dr. Jin said. It was a psychological turning point. My analysis of human combat behavior reveals something unique. He touched a control, and a new image appeared. It showed brain scans of different species. Most intelligent species evolved to avoid conflict, Dr. Jin explained. When faced with danger, they feel fear and run. But humans are different. Their fear can turn into focused aggression. The aliens murmured among themselves. This was troubling news. Most disturbing is what humans call controlled violence. Dr. Jin continued. They can perform extreme destruction with precision. They choose when to attack and when to show mercy. This makes them unpredictable. Admiral Bach frowned. How can we fight an enemy that doesn't react like normal species? That's not all, Dr. Jin said. The data stolen from our Europa base has given them more technology. Our spies report they now have basic faster-than-light travel. Back on Earth, Colonel Hyun sat in a new underground facility. As director of the Terran Defense Initiative, he had access to everything taken from the Europa base. The alien data had accelerated Earth's technology by decades. We have 5 working FTL ships now, reported Dr. Han. Small, but fast. They can reach nearby star systems. Colonel Hyun nodded. Good. Now we need the right people to use them. He pressed a button, and a screen showed training facilities around the world. In each one, Earth's best soldiers learned to use alien weapons and technology. The Lima incident taught us something important, Colonel Hyun told his staff. Our special forces can beat the aliens even when outnumbered. We need more teams like Sun He's. He displayed a new plan on the main screen. I am creating deep strike teams to operate behind enemy lines. We'll call them Wraiths. Wraiths? Asked General Ta. Ghosts, explained Colonel Hyun. Because they will strike from nowhere and vanish before the enemy knows what happened. Meanwhile, on the Confederation base on Saturn's moon Titan, Commander Dae-sung received disturbing reports. His soldiers were seeing things that weren't there. Shadow movements, strange sounds. They're just nervous after what happened on Europa, his second-in-command said. No, Dae-sung replied. The humans are watching us, learning our weaknesses. He was right. Hidden on Titan's surface, a small human team recorded everything. They noted guard changes, mapped defenses, and studied alien behavior. Back on Earth, Captain Jun Kim entered Colonel Hyun's office. You wanted to see me, sir? Jun asked. Captain Kim, your record is impressive, Colonel Hyun said. You were the first to fight the aliens on Mars. You led defense teams during the Earth invasion. Now I have a new assignment for you. He handed Jun a file marked Wraith 1. You will lead our first Wraith unit, Colonel Hyun explained. Your mission is to strike the enemy where they feel safest, to make them fear the dark. Jun opened the file. It contained profiles of 11 other soldiers, each the best in their field. When do we start? Jun asked. Training begins tomorrow, Colonel Hyun replied. In 3 months, you will conduct our first offensive beyond the solar system. As Jun left the office, Colonel Hyun looked at the star map on his wall. Red dots showed known alien bases. Soon, those bases would learn to fear the approach of Earth's special forces. The psychological war had begun. And in this war, fear itself was a weapon. Captain Jun Kim checked his weapon one last time. The red lights in the dropship cast shadows on his team's faces. All 6 of them wore the same look, serious and ready. 2 minutes to landing, said the pilot. Jun nodded. Phantom team, check your gear. We don't know what happened at the Mars outpost, but the distress call sounded bad. The Mars research outpost had gone silent 12 hours ago. Their last message mentioned strange lights in the sky. Then nothing. Phantom team, Earth's best Special Forces unit, was sent to find out why. "I don't like this, Captain," said Sergeant Du, looking at the video feed of the outpost. No lights were on. No movement outside. "None of us do," Jun replied as the ship touched down with a soft thud. "But those are our people in there." The team moved out in perfect formation. They had trained together for years. Each knew their job. They approached the main door, which hung open. "Power's out," said tech specialist Yuna as she checked her scanner. "But something's giving off energy inside. Something I've never seen before." Jun made hand signals. The team split into two groups and entered the outpost. The hallways were dark. The only light came from their helmet lamps. They found the first body in the control room. Dr. Park lay on the floor, a strange burn mark on his chest. "This isn't a normal burn," said Medic Tai as he examined the body. "It's like nothing I've seen before." They found more bodies as they moved deeper into the outpost. All had similar burns. The team moved slowly, checking each room. "Captain, you need to see this," called Yuna from the lab section. Jun entered the lab and stopped. On the floor lay two bodies that weren't human. They were tall, with gray skin and large black eyes. One had 6 fingers on each hand. "Aliens," whispered Du. "Actual aliens." "And someone killed them," said Jun, noticing the bullet wounds. "Earth bullets." A noise came from the storage room. The team moved into position, weapons ready. Jun kicked the door open. "Don't shoot," a woman's voice cried out. "I'm human." Dr. Han-suk crawled out from behind some crates. Her lab coat was stained with blood. Her hands shook as Tai helped her up. "They came without warning," she said, her voice trembling. "Ships just appeared in the sky. They sent a message saying they were from the Galactic Confederation. They said they were here to study us." "What happened?" Jun asked. "They said humans were too violent, too unpredictable to join their society. They wanted to check our military strength." Dr. Han looked at the dead aliens. These two were scientists. They were taking samples, scanning our tech. Then more ships arrived. They said Earth would be contained for the safety of the galaxy. They started killing everyone. "How did you survive?" asked Du. Dr. Lee fought back. He grabbed a security guard's gun. "Killed those two. It gave me time to hide. The others, they didn't make it." Tears ran down her face. "There were so many aliens, but they seemed surprised we fought back. Almost scared when we did." Jun looked at the alien bodies. Where did they go? Back to their ships. They said they would return with more forces. Dr. Han pointed to a device on one of the aliens' belts. That thing was how they talked to each other. It still works. Yuna picked up the device carefully. "Captain, this could be important. Might be how they communicate faster than light." Jun nodded. "Pack it up. Everything they left behind. We're taking it all back to Earth." He activated his command. "This is Phantom Leader. We have survivors and evidence of first contact. Hostile first contact." As they helped Dr. Han to the ship, Jun looked up at the stars. Earth wasn't alone in the universe anymore, and their new neighbors weren't friendly. The war for humanity's survival had just begun. Junior Officer Lack nervously checked the sensors again. Nothing there. But this was the third time tonight. He thought he saw something moving outside the base on Pluto. "Seeing ghosts again?" asked his commander with a laugh. Lack didn't laugh. "The humans can make their ships invisible. They did it on Titan. They could be watching us right now." 6 months had passed since the Titan incident. Stories about human special forces spread through the Confederation like wildfire. Some said humans could see in the dark. Others claimed they could move without making a sound. Many believed they could appear and disappear at will. "Those are just stories to scare new recruits," the commander said. But his hand rested on his weapon as he spoke. The truth was, everyone in the Confederation military was getting nervous. 4 more bases had been hit by human special forces. Each attack was quick and deadly. The humans came without warning, did what they came to do, and vanished before reinforcements arrived. On the Confederation homeworld, Admiral Bach reviewed the latest reports. "Another false alarm at Base 7, he said. "That's the 5th this week." "The soldiers are on edge," replied Commander Dae-sung. "They jump at shadows. Some request transfers when assigned to border outposts." Admiral Bach frowned. "These humans are becoming more than a military problem. They're becoming a legend." On Earth, Colonel Han saw an opportunity in this fear. He called a meeting with the psychological warfare team. "We need to use their fear against them," he told the team. "Start Operation Whisper." Operation Whisper was simple but effective. Earth began sending fake transmissions that Confederation ships could intercept. The messages spoke of new human abilities and secret weapons. They mentioned Wraith teams in places where no humans had ever been. "Let them think we're everywhere," Colonel Hyun said. "Fear will do half our work for us." Meanwhile, Major Sun Hee prepared for a new mission. Her team had been tasked with raiding a Confederation research facility. Intelligence reports said the facility was developing advanced shield technology that could stop human weapons. "This is our most important mission yet," Sun Hee told her team. "If they perfect these shields, we lose our advantage." The facility orbited a gas giant in a nearby star system. Security was tight after the recent human attacks. But Sun Hee had a plan. Her team approached in a small ship disguised as a supply vessel. When questioned, they sent forged authorization codes. "Something's wrong with these codes," said the facility's security chief. "Check again," replied his assistant. "They match our database." What they didn't know was that Lieutenant Min from Wraith 1 had hacked their database the week before, inserting the fake codes. Sun Hee's team docked at the facility. Unlike previous missions, they didn't try to hide who they were. They wore Earth military uniforms as they exited their ship. "Humans," shouted a guard, reaching for his alarm button. But the humans moved faster. Sun Hee's team had studied the facility's layout in detail. They knew exactly where to go and how to get there. Alarms blared as they fought their way to the research lab. The Confederation guards fired back, but they were scientists and technicians, not soldiers. They hadn't faced humans before. "They're too fast," one guard cried as Sun Hee's team moved through the facility like a well-oiled machine. In the main lab, Sun Hee found what they came for: prototype shield generators and all the research data. Her team grabbed everything they could carry. "We've got what we need," Sun Hee said. "Time to leave." Their escape was as bold as their entrance. They fought their way back to their ship, leaving stunned guards in their wake. As their ship jumped to FTL speed, Sun Hee looked at the stolen technology. "This will change everything," she said. "With these shields, we can take the fight deeper into Confederation space." Back at the facility, the Confederation commander sent an urgent message to headquarters. Humans attacked with impossible speed. They knew our layout perfectly. They took everything. It's like they knew we would be defenseless. The legend of human special forces grew stronger with each passing day. General Ta Park stood at the head of the table. Around him sat military leaders from every major nation on Earth. 6 months had passed since the Mars attack. "The aliens will return," General Ta said, pointing to the screen behind him. It showed pictures of the alien technology Captain Jun's team had brought back. "We must be ready." For the first time in history, all nations worked together. Old enemies became allies. The best scientists studied the alien device that Dr. Han had identified as a communication tool. "We've learned much," said Dr. Han, who now led the alien tech research team. "The device uses energy in ways we never imagined, but we've made progress." In secret bases around the world, soldiers trained with new weapons based on alien technology. The device from Mars helped them understand how the aliens fought and communicated. Captain Jun's Phantom team trained other special forces units. They practiced fighting in low gravity and using the new weapons. They learned to move silently, strike quickly, and disappear. The aliens think we're primitive, Joan told his teams. That will be their mistake. 6 months to the day after the Mars attack, the sky filled with lights. The alien ships had returned, hundreds of them, far more than before. On the lead ship, Commander Dae-sung felt confident. This would be simple. His superiors in the Galactic Confederation had ordered him to contain the humans. They were too violent to join galactic society, but too resourceful to ignore. Begin the landing, he ordered. Remember, these humans are primitive. Their weapons are basic. This will be over quickly. Dae-sung watched on screens as his troops landed outside major cities. They expected little resistance. What they found shocked them. The humans were waiting. They had built defenses, and they had weapons that could hurt the alien soldiers. "Commander," an officer called out in panic, "the humans are using energy weapons similar to ours." How is this possible? Dae-sung couldn't believe it. They couldn't have developed such technology so quickly. It's impossible. But the evidence was clear on the battle screens. Human soldiers fought back with surprising skill, and their special forces units were especially dangerous. Outside Seoul, a Confederation landing force found itself under attack. The aliens had superior numbers and technology, but the human special forces used the terrain and moved in ways the aliens didn't expect. Captain Jum led Phantom Team through the alien ranks like a ghost. They struck from nowhere, disappeared, then struck again. They used the new weapons with deadly skill. "They adapt too quickly," reported a Confederation officer. "Their tactics keep changing. We can't predict them." Dae-sung watched in growing horror as reports came in from around the planet. His forces were taking heavy losses. The humans fought with an intensity he had never seen before. "They're special forces units," said his intelligence officer. "They fight differently than the others. They showed no fear. They keep coming even when outnumbered." In the mountains near Tokyo, a human special forces team led by Major Sun, he ambushed an alien patrol. The aliens had better armor and weapons, but Sun He's team moved like shadows among the trees. "They're not fighting like primitives," a wounded alien soldier told his commander. "They're fighting like warriors who have nothing to lose." After 3 days of unexpected resistance, Commander Dae-sung ordered a retreat. What was supposed to be a simple operation had turned into a disaster. "We must regroup," he told his officers. "The humans are more dangerous than we thought." As the alien ships pulled away from Earth, General Ta gathered his commanders. "We've won this battle," he said, "but the war has just begun. We need to prepare for the next attack, and we need to take the fight to them." Captain Jun looked at the stars through the window. "They'll be back," he said, "and we'll be ready." Little did he know, one of Sun He's team members had placed a tracking device on an alien ship as it retreated. Soon, humans would take their first steps into the stars, not as explorers, but as warriors.